You ain't gonna believe this. I went up to the filter house, found my tench, who I've had for 25 years, lying on the floor. Wasn't moving, looked like it just jumped out of the pond. Hey my ducks, welcome back to Sharpey's Pond World. Not really been filming a lot lately. Well, it's a bit dark up there, but then again not much has been going on, but finally getting a bit of progress in the garden. The slabs are finally going down. I'm just doing it myself. I gave up waiting for the guy that was going to come and do it for me, so we did some last weekend. I got these ones down. So today we're just going to fill the rest out, put the gaps in, go up to the step and then put the edge in down here, because just got to cut the slabs to go to the end. But yeah, I just gave up waiting for him. Focus camera, not that light. So yeah, so not much has been really going on. Temperatures are obviously dropping now, especially at night time. It was freezing a couple of nights ago. I think it dropped down to about 3 degrees. So the fish are doing all right. And now moving on to their autumn feed, although I think the wheat germ is now going to have to start integrated as well. It took me a while with the autumn feed. I just started mixing it in with the summer feed a few weeks back, but what the fish were doing, they were just picking out the summer food and were leaving the autumn food, and I had to keep nesting it out, and it took a while for them to start eating the autumn food. They were like kids picking out the favourite sweets in a pick and mix. Things like my big ghost lot is putting a lot of fat reserves over the summer, so he should do well during the winter. And the Sankey from the Balding Reefer, I won't say he's put on a lot of fat, to be honest. He still just seems quite a bit skinny fish. In terms of the treatment, my Kiyotsurui more or less fully healed now, which is good. So it's just the Kohaku left with a small ulcer on its flank, which I've been treating. He's been having his salt baths. Been taking him out and putting a bit of anti-bac on, cleaning the wound up. You can tell we've had some rain, the pond's really filled up. So yeah, we'll soon start winding down for the winter. So if it carries on going this cold, especially at night time, I think a bit of wheat germ is now going to have to start being integrated in with the autumn feed. I've only been on the autumn feed a couple of weeks. They definitely slowed down. Put on some sizes. Ghost carp, I tell you, over the summer he's got massive. I'll probably say now is as big as the big mama, the Magoi, if you can see it. The Shisui, he's put on loads of weight as well over the summer, really good size. And then this one here as well, which I call Benny, he's put on some good size as well. To fair the Kohaku, he's put on, I know he's been an ulcer at the minute, but he's put on some good size over the summer. But yeah, I wish the Sankey got from the Balding Reef was a bit more fatter for the winter, but should be fine. No more maintenance jobs this weekend. Get the Nexus clean, get the box filter cleaned. So on the last video obviously was going through all the updates of the fish. We'll just come here so you can see me. I'm going through some of the updates on the sick koi. Like I say, it's just the Kohaku that's left now, so definitely taking all your comments on board. Thank you, loads of comments on that video, loads of advice. So it's just a case of process of elimination, I think. So one of the things I'm going to do this winter is with me tap with the rust, because I shut this down over winter anyway, so I'm going to get this spray painted as well over winter. I'm undecided if I'm going to keep it. I might put one of those water blading things that come up and shoot over. I'm either going to do that ready for next year, or I'm just going to spray paint it so there's no rust. Might not be the issue, but it could be one of the reasons, I don't know, but it's down to process of elimination. I'm interested in following Leon at Progressive Pond Keeping, about what he's going to do with his plants. Because he hangs his baskets, or he's going to hang his baskets over his pond wall and sort of suspend them, so I'm interested to follow him, how he does that. It's an option of getting my plants off the bricks. This autumn as well, in a couple of weeks I've got a week off work coming up, so all my plants will be coming out. They're all going to be rinsed down, trimmed, repotted, just in case there's any bad bacteria that's lying inside of them all. They can harbour a lot of bacteria, bad bacteria should I say. I don't think it's my filters are as clean as anything, nothing to do with them. I'm still a bit unsure if it's anything to do with chlorine, because I spoke to a couple of koi dealers and they were saying if there was chlorine in the pond, it would knock your filter back, and my water parameters are absolutely spot on. Chlorine would obviously kill the good bacteria in your filters. I don't think it's down to that. I've obviously got the water feature that's gassing the chlorine off as well. Yes, there was slight chlorine coming out of the dechlorinator, but when I tested the pond there was no chlorine in it. There's been no flicking and flashing from the fish either, so that's what they'll mostly do if there's chlorine in there. So obviously it does irritate the gills. Me personally is putting it down to knocks on the britch, because it is the smallest fish and not the big fish. None of the big fish seem to be getting in it. The small fish can get up there, but the big fish can't. So that's what I'm going to be putting it down to, but like I say, it's just process of elimination, so sort that out, sort the plants out, carry on treating. I know a couple of you said about quarantining them when you get new fish, but I don't have facilities to do that. I used to in my old garage, I had quarantine facilities set up in there before I started this channel, to be honest. But when I took the garage down, I had to get rid of all that. And until the garage is sorted out, in terms of getting it tidied, there's not a lot else I can do. But it's an option to think about. I'm already starting to think about products for next year. I like the idea of growing my own fry, so I might do that. The kids don't really use the trampoline anymore, so I've got an area up there I'm thinking of using.
Hang on a minute.
Oh.
I have to talk to your missus about that one. She wants a spa up there, a jacuzzi.
Yeah, she wants a hot tub and stuff putting up there. But you know what? I want this as my pond. Filter house, pond. You know what to do. Who's going to get in the way? Can you hear her? She's shaking her head. Right, yeah, so just for today, we'll crack on with these slabs, get these finished today. I think it will really finish the pond off as well, because once these slabs are down, then I can start sorting out the bottom of the tiles out. So I've left gaps, obviously, like here, look. So that can be then filled with the tiles. When they came off, when I upgraded the pond, I need to put a couple in there. But yeah, I think it will really finish it off. Obviously, they match the coping stones as well, so that'll be right, that. The problem with have a sloping garden as well. I've had to make it slope, and then we can sort these steps out at some point as well. Right, and I'm shattered as well. Oh, and by the way, I've been jumping on some of these live shows lately. I don't normally have time to go onto the live shows. My god, it's like watching an episode of EastEnders, guys. What the actual... Last night I didn't get there while it was live on the Balding Reefers one. I jumped on just after it finished, and I watched it every single minute for 2 hours. I think it was 2:30 in the morning when I finished watching it and went to bed. I was in stitches. I was absolutely in stitches. You guys are supposed to be grown men. What the hell is going on? Anyway, I hope it all gets sorted out now. I'm not getting involved, nothing to do with me, but it's just hilarious. Stupid and hilarious at the same time to watch and listen to. But yeah, so right, crack on. And just like that, come vlog it as I was going, because I was worried about it was going to rain. So I just wanted to get it down and done, and I couldn't keep stopping to vlog. So pretty impressed. She loves it. She can use it as a dance floor. Just don't walk on these M1s. Okay, you can walk where they are because we did them last time. And you can walk up to here.
It feels so much better than having to stretch my legs to go to the next.
It does. And then we can just sort this area out. Because what I'm thinking of doing is flattening this and putting slabs in there. So basically you'll step up onto here and then step up again. And then we can level this bit with soil and then put turf on the top. Because obviously at the minute you're going to step up to that. That's just holding that into place for the minute while that's setting. So it makes it less of a swamp. I mean, last year, before we did this, because we did this bit last year, but before we did that, this used to just absolutely bog down in the winter. It was horrible.
Yeah, I had to step through it with my, like,
You did?
boots. And my boots, when I picked them off, they were all muddy around here.
So, yeah.
And
And a rabbit's buried under there as well. So I've just fed the fish. It's been pretty warm today actually, so I've just chucked a load of soldier fly larvae in there as well. So let them eat, do the filter clean and that tomorrow. Once I've got a week off coming up, so all this is going to be trimmed back for the winter. We'll start winterizing the pond and get the filters properly clean for the winter. Right, and we'll come back tomorrow and we'll get the Kohaku treated and might have to do a bit of a hoover in there as well. Bit of fish waste. I get a bit more waste at the staple food than I do the summer food. It's just sitting at the bottom of the pond. Right, I'll leave them to eat the larvae. Right guys, it's the next day. I'm just about to start my filter clean and get the Kohaku out and stuff. You ain't gonna believe this. I went up to the filter house, finds my Tench, who I've had for 25 years, lying on the floor. Wasn't moving, looked like it jumped out of the pond. But yeah, it's dead. I rushed and got a bucket of water on it, put it in. It's lying there and all of a sudden I just see that slight little bit of gill move. I thought, it's a little bit of alive. So, air stones are in. It's been like this now for... time we on, I think it's about 45 minutes I'd say. It's now upright, because it was flat. Look at them gills if you can see. And gills are moving. This could be a life miracle guys. I ain't giving up on this fish, not I've seen them gills move. Trying to keep it next to the air stones as much as possible, get enough oxygen over them gills. Well, like I say, it was flat for ages. Now he's decided it's managed to get himself upright. Obviously, keeping it alive is one thing, but I don't know what other damage it's done to himself. Could have had a heart attack, really damaged his internal organs, you don't know. So keep it like this as much as possible and see what we can do. Go back and watch my YouTube shorts. I was posting YouTube shorts as it happened. Well, it's now been a couple of hours. I put him in the pond. I picked him up and I held him under the water return and he wanted to get out of my hand, so I did put him in the pond, but he just swam straight down to the bottom and he was tilting a bit, so I've left him in the net under the water feature with air stones in there as well, trying to get enough oxygen around him as possible over those gills. He's upright, the gills are still going, not going as fast as I'd like. Like I said, this has been 2 hours. So it's probably done more damage internally probably than anything else, which is the worrying thing, but all we can do is just hope. Like I say, it's 25 years I've had this fish. I've looked on the cameras, checked that one, I've checked that one. Couldn't pinpoint when he jumped out. There is a cat nearby that keeps coming by the pond. Now my cat, as you know I've got a cat, my cat never ever jumps on the pond, ever. There's another one, I don't know where it lives, and it keeps coming and it always goes onto this point and it detects that camera, but he is just trying to drink out the water. Now, so if he'd have jumped up, that would have set that camera off and I would have noticed it, but it hasn't. So I think it has literally just jumped out around the back of the pond. Alright, so while we're waiting on the tench, I've got the Kohaku out. Just so I give you a quick update. There's also a bit of fungus on it. Just got me stuff ready to give it a treat. It's a shame because this fish has put a nice bit of size. You can just see there, look. There's a bit of fungus on the wound, so we'll get that cleaned up, getting treated, and then we'll give it a salt bath. Lovely Kohaku this is, I tell you. Bit of stress on it, a bit of red here, but yeah, one thing after another at the minute. With the Kohaku and then the tench jumping out. So let's get this one sorted. I'll have to put the camera down though. Alright. See, I'll give it a bit of treat. So it's just got its powder on, so let's see how we go. We're getting back in the pond. I'm not going to salt bath. Sorry, camera died then. I'm not going to salt bath it this time. It's got to be stressed. I've done this without sedation as well, so it's probably more stressful for the fish. So I'm not going to give it a salt bath. I'll do that in the midweek now. But it's not getting any worse. I won't say it's really getting any better either. So it's a shame because this is a really nice Kohaku. I really like this fish. It's going to look nice when he's older. So let's get him back in the pond. Well, I'm not sure if he was getting a bit stressed in the net, but it was upright. I took him out, held him in the pond, and he wiggled to get out of my hands, so I let him go. He's swimming. He's a bit, I'm not sure if he's a bit stunned or what, but like I said, we don't know what other internal damage has happened to him. But he's in there. He's upright. He's not swimming with the rest of the fish yet, so it's okay to just keep an eye on him. I obviously can't just keep him in that net overnight or anything. It would just wouldn't be safe for him. I don't want to leave him in a bowl, one because of water quality, two because of temperature difference. Got no quarantine facilities to set him up in. He's sort of just hovering around. It's probably 50-50 if he's going to survive or not. Hopefully you've been watching I put some YouTube shorts in when it happened. So when I put him in the pond, it's actually been 4 hours since I found him lying down there, motionless. So when I picked him up, he was still soft, he had slime on him, but I thought he was dead. I put him in a bowl of water just so I could check him, and as I checked him I saw a gill move. That's when I ran to put the air stones in. So 4 hours later, but he's upright, that's the main thing. Time will tell now overnight how he goes. So I'm not going to end this vlog yet. I'll end it in the morning with an update if he's alive or not. The rest of the fish are okay. I only said at the beginning of this vlog about fish not jumping and flashing in the pond. Cursed it, didn't I? Like I say, I've been checking the cameras. Couldn't pinpoint when it jumped out. As far as I know, nothing grabbed it and got it out, as in cats or anything. Fish are loving life in here. Just got to keep an eye on him. He's normally next to my other tench. I've got two tench. Normally these are stuck together like glue. Is he feeling a bit lost? I think they're waiting for some black fly larvae, these fish. They're swimming around, looking at me, as if to say, feed me, Dad, feed me. So yeah, I'm not going to end this yet. I'll end it in the morning. Hopefully, I'll end it with good news. Hopefully I won't end it with bad news. Let's come back in the morning. Right, I'm just on my way to work. I can end the vlog now. Excuse me. He's alright, look. Ignore all the waste on the bottom of the pond. I didn't get to hoover it yesterday. But he's just next to the Becco. He's alright. Yesterday, the flow of the water was pushing him a bit. He didn't have the energy to sort of go against the flow of the water. But this morning he's got his energy back. He's got stronger. Obviously I don't know what any internal damage has happened to him, if anything, but I ain't going to stress him out and net him. I'm going to leave him in there a few days, maybe a week. I'll probably take him out next weekend now. Have a bit of a look at him, but he's definitely swimming better. He's got his energy. He's now stronger against the currents of the water. Can't believe that, guys. I brought him back from the brink of death. Honestly, if you've seen it, when I went round here and he was lying on the floor, motionless, nothing was, I thought he was actually dead. Put him in water and just saw that slight gill move after about 5 to 10 minutes. I thought, there's a chance here. Like I say, it took hours. Under the water return. I feel like Jesus Christ. Right guys, I've got to go to work, so I'll see you next time.